I should have known something was wrong when Lauren's face went white as Adam complimented my Halloween costume. But nothing could have prepared me for what I found in her laptop that night. Years of my stolen designs, fabricated stories about me sent to employers, and a detailed list of every client she'd secretly contacted to destroy my career. My own sister had been systematically ruining my life, and I'd been thanking her for her support the entire time. My name is Haley Brooks. I'm 25, and I should have realized something was terribly wrong the moment I saw my reflection in Lauren's bedroom mirror that October night. There I stood, adjusting the final details of my Halloween costume, a Gothic masterpiece I'd spent weeks crafting. Victorian lace sleeves flowed into a fitted black corset I'd hand-embroidered with silver threads. The skirt cascaded in layers of midnight tulle, each ruffle positioned perfectly. My makeup was dramatic but elegant. Smoky eyes that could stop traffic and deep burgundy lips that complemented the antique cameo at my throat. I was a freelance graphic designer struggling to make ends meet, but creating this costume felt like pure magic. Every stitch told a story. Every detail screamed creativity. "Lauren's going to flip when she sees this," I whispered to my reflection, grinning with excitement. My sister worked in marketing at Morrison & Associates, one of those prestigious firms where people wore $1,000 suits and spoke in corporate buzzwords. She'd invited me to their annual Halloween party, claiming it would be perfect networking for my struggling design business. Lauren had always been the successful one in our family's eyes, the steady paycheck, the corner office, the fiancé with a trust fund. Meanwhile, I was still eating ramen and praying clients would pay their invoices on time. But Lauren had always supported me. Well, that's what I believed back then. She'd give me career advice over expensive dinners she insisted on paying for. "You're so talented, Haley," she'd say. "You just need the right connections." She promised to help with networking, claimed she was always talking me up to potential clients. Looking back, I should have wondered why those connections never materialized. Makes sense now, right? The party venue was exactly what I'd expected. All glass and chrome, the kind of place where creativity goes to die. Conservative costumes filled the room. Boring witches, lazy cats, guys who threw on a Superman t-shirt and called it effort. Then there was me, looking like I'd stepped out of a Tim Burton fever dream, and people noticed. "Holy shit, did you make that yourself?" asked a woman in marketing, her eyes wide with genuine admiration. "The craftsmanship is incredible," said another colleague, circling me like I was a museum exhibit. I felt alive for the first time in months. These weren't just compliments, they were recognition of my actual talent. The attention felt natural, deserved even. I'd put 40 hours into this costume, while most people had spent 40 minutes at a Halloween store. That's when Lauren appeared. She wore a generic witch costume, black dress, pointy hat, plastic broomstick. The kind of thing you grab last minute because you forgot about the party. Her smile looked painted on as she watched colleagues flock around me like moths to a flame. "Haley, wow," she said, but her voice carried an edge I'd never heard before. "That's certainly a lot for a work event." I laughed it off. Lauren was probably just stressed about hosting. She worked hard to maintain her professional image, and here I was, her bohemian sister, making waves in her carefully controlled environment. But the comments kept coming. "Maybe tone it down a bit?" she whispered when another group approached, asking about my design process. "People are starting to stare." Of course they were staring. I'd created something extraordinary. Then Adam walked over. Lauren's fiancé was usually polite but distant with me, the way rich guys are with their girlfriends' artsy relatives. Tonight was different. His eyes lit up when he saw my costume, and he asked detailed questions about my creative process. Real questions, intelligent ones. "I've been looking for a designer for my startup," he said. "Do you have a portfolio?" That's when Lauren's face went completely white. The color drained so fast I thought she might faint. But what happened next would make that moment look like a gentle breeze before a hurricane. Looking back, I realized that moment when Adam asked about my portfolio was like watching a bomb's fuse reach its end in slow motion. Lauren's transformation was instant and terrifying. The supportive sister I'd known for 25 years vanished, replaced by someone I didn't recognize. Actually, Adam, Lauren's voice cut through our conversation like broken glass. Maybe we shouldn't monopolize the party talking shop. Her laugh sounded forced, mechanical. Haley, people are starting to whisper about your outfit. My stomach dropped. The way she said outfit made it sound dirty, inappropriate. But before I could respond, Adam frowned at her. What's wrong with her costume? It's incredible craftsmanship. He turned back to me with genuine enthusiasm. Seriously, do you have a website? I'd love to see more of your work. That's when Lauren exploded. For God's sake, Haley! Her voice carried across the party, making nearby conversations stop mid-sentence. Could you be any more desperate for attention? This is my workplace, not some gothic fashion show. The room went dead silent. You know that moment when everyone pretends they're not listening, but they're absolutely hanging on every word? Yeah, that happened. I felt dozens of eyes boring into me, watching the train wreck unfold. Lauren, what are you talking about? My voice came out smaller than I intended. The costume that had made me feel powerful 5 minutes earlier now felt like a spotlight exposing every flaw. Don't play innocent, she hissed, stepping closer. That dress is completely inappropriate for a professional event. You're practically falling out of it, throwing yourself at every man here. It's embarrassing. I looked down at myself in confusion. My costume was elaborate, sure, but revealing. The corset was fitted but not remotely inappropriate. I'd worn more revealing outfits to church picnics. This felt like I was being attacked in a foreign language I didn't understand. Adam's face darkened. Lauren, that's completely unfair. Your sister's costume is artistic and well-crafted. There's nothing inappropriate about it. Wrong move, Adam. Defending me just poured gasoline on Lauren's fire. Of course you'd say that. Lauren whirled on him, her voice dripping with venom. She's been batting her eyelashes at you all night, just like she does with every man she meets. It's pathetic, really. The words hit me like physical blows. This wasn't my sister talking. This was a stranger wearing Lauren's face, saying things designed to destroy me in front of people whose respect I desperately needed. Maybe, Lauren continued, her voice growing louder and more vicious, if you spent half as much time actually building a career as you do playing dress-up and fishing for compliments, you wouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck at 25. The room was completely silent now. Even the background music seemed to have stopped. I felt tears threatening but refused to give her the satisfaction. My hands shook as I clutched my small purse, looking for an escape route that didn't exist. Lauren, stop! Adam's voice was sharp with disapproval. This is way out of line. But she wasn't done. I'm tired of watching my sister make a spectacle of herself every chance she gets. Some of us have reputations to maintain. Some of us have actual responsibilities. That last word, responsibilities, felt like she was calling me a child, a failure. Everything our parents had never said out loud, but had always implied when they bragged about Lauren's promotions while asking when I'd get a real job. Here's the thing about public humiliation. It doesn't just hurt in the moment. It rewrites every interaction you've had, making you question everything. Was Lauren right? Had I been inappropriate? Was I really that desperate for validation? But then Adam did something that changed everything. He stepped between Lauren and me, his voice firm and clear enough for the entire room to hear. Haley, I meant what I said about your work. You're obviously incredibly talented. He pulled out his business card and handed it to me. Please send me your portfolio. I'd love to discuss that project. Lauren's face went from flushed red to paper white in seconds. The shift was so dramatic I thought she might collapse. I think, I managed to say with as much dignity as I could scrape together, I should probably leave. The walk to the elevator felt like running a gauntlet. Every step I expected another verbal assault, another public takedown. But Lauren just stood there, frozen, watching me go with an expression I couldn't read. Adam caught up with me at the elevator. "Haley, wait. I'm so sorry about that. Lauren's been under a lot of stress lately, but that doesn't excuse what just happened." "It's fine," I lied, jabbing the elevator button repeatedly. "I shouldn't have come." "No, you absolutely should have come. Your talent deserves recognition." He pressed his card into my hand when I tried to refuse it. "I run a tech startup. We need someone who can think outside the box, create something memorable. Send me your portfolio?" The elevator arrived and I practically dove inside. "I'll think about it." As the doors closed, I saw Lauren appear behind Adam, her face a mask of barely controlled panic. Whatever was happening in her head, it looked like pure terror. The 20-minute ride back to Lauren's apartment gave me too much time to think. Why had she attacked me like that? We'd never been close, but we'd never been enemies either. She'd always been supportive of my career, or at least I'd thought she was. Lauren's apartment felt different when I let myself in with the spare key she'd given me. Colder, somehow. I sat on her pristine white couch, still wearing my elaborate costume that now felt like a costume in the worst way, like I was pretending to be someone I wasn't. I needed to send Adam my portfolio like I'd promised. My laptop was dead, but Lauren had said I could use her computer anytime. She'd probably be at the party for hours, trying to do damage control after that scene. Her MacBook sat open on the kitchen counter, screensaver displaying photos of her and Adam looking disgustingly happy. I woke it up and opened her browser, planning to access my email and send a quick portfolio link. That's when I accidentally changed everything. When I clicked on the email tab, it opened to her sent folder instead of a new message. The most recent email made me freeze. The subject line read, "Regarding Haley Brooks, confidential concerns." My own name staring back at me from my sister's sent emails. What could she possibly be writing about me that required confidentiality? I clicked it open, and my entire world shifted on its axis. The email was addressed to Marcus Chen, CEO of Illuminate Design, a company I'd been dying to work with for months. Lauren had written it 3 weeks ago, right after I'd mentioned submitting my portfolio to them. "Marcus, I hope you're well. I'm reaching out regarding my sister Haley Brooks, who I believe has contacted your company about freelance opportunities. While this puts me in an awkward position, I feel obligated to share some concerns about her professionalism and reliability." My hands started shaking. What the hell was this? Haley has a history of missing deadlines and can be quite difficult to work with when receiving feedback. She's also been known to take credit for collaborative work. I wanted to give you a heads up before you invest time in her proposals. I hope you understand my position. Family loyalty versus professional integrity is never easy to navigate. The room started spinning. I read it again, then again. Each time the words got worse. My own sister, warning potential clients against hiring me. But wait, there was more. I scrolled through her sent folder, finding email after email with my name in the subject line. Johnson Creative Studios, Pixel Perfect Agency, Morrison Tech. Every company I'd applied to in the past 6 months had received some version of this character assassination. The worst part? Each email was tailored perfectly. Lauren knew exactly which insecurities to exploit for each client. To the startup guys, she questioned my ability to handle fast-paced environments. To the established firms, she painted me as unreliable and unprofessional. Then I found the folder labeled H Reference. Inside were dozens of my design concepts, sketches I'd shown her, logo ideas I'd brainstormed out loud during our supportive sister coffee dates, layouts I'd been excited to share with someone who claimed to understand my creative process. She'd been stealing everything, every casual conversation where I'd bounced ideas off her, every rough sketch I'd left lying around her apartment. She'd photographed them, organized them, and used them for her own marketing projects. The timestamps made me sick. That minimalist campaign she'd won an award for last month? I'd designed those exact concepts 2 weeks earlier. The coffee shop logo her team had supposedly created, I doodled that layout on a napkin while we were having lunch. Years of my work, my ideas, my creativity, all filed away in neat digital folders while I struggled to pay rent. But the most devastating discovery was yet to come. A spreadsheet labeled H Contacts contained every networking opportunity I'd ever mentioned. Professional contacts, potential clients, industry connections, everyone I'd been excited about. Next to each name were detailed notes about how Lauren had reached out first. Contacted J. Martinez 315, mentioned H's inconsistent communication style. Called R. Thompson 3 and 22, suggested they might want someone more experienced. Met with K. Johnson 4-8, shared concerns about H's ability to handle corporate clients. She'd been systematically poisoning every well before I could drink from it. Every rejection I'd received, every opportunity that had mysteriously evaporated, every client who'd seemed interested then suddenly gone cold. Lauren had orchestrated all of it. The front door slammed. She was home early. I sat there staring at the screen, my gothic costume now feeling like armor I desperately needed. Footsteps approached the kitchen. "Haley, why are you still awake? I thought you'd be..." Lauren stopped mid-sentence when she saw her laptop screen. Her face cycled through confusion, recognition, and finally terror. "I can explain," she whispered. "Can you?" I turned the laptop toward her so she could see her own emails displayed. "Because I'm really curious how you explain warning my potential clients that I'm unreliable while stealing my designs for your own projects." The sister I'd known my entire life crumbled before my eyes. No more fake smiles, no more supportive facade, just raw panic and the face of someone who'd been caught red-handed. "You don't understand the pressure I'm under," she started, but I held up my hand. "No, you're going to sit down and you're going to tell me exactly how long you've been sabotaging my career." Because I was done being the victim of her jealousy. Time to find out just how deep this betrayal went. Lauren collapsed onto her pristine white chair like a deflated balloon. No more corporate composure, no more fake sisterly concern, just pure, raw terror. 3 years, she whispered, staring at her hands. "It started 3 years ago." 3 fucking years. Why? The word came out like a growl. She looked up at me, and for a split second, I saw something almost human in her eyes. "Because you don't even try and everything just comes so easily to you." I laughed, actually laughed. "Easily? Lauren, I've been eating ramen for dinner 6 nights a week because I can't afford groceries. I've been rejected by every major client in this city. You call that easy?" "That's exactly what I mean." Her voice cracked. "You create something beautiful without even thinking about it. I spend 60 hours a week crafting campaigns that feel soulless compared to what you doodle on napkins. Do you know how that feels?" "So, you decided to steal my napkin doodles?" Her face flushed red. "I worked my ass off to get where I am. I played politics, kissed ass, networked until my face hurt from fake smiling. Then you waltz into my world wearing some masterpiece you stitched together in your spare time, and suddenly everyone's asking about my talented sister." The pieces clicked together. Every supportive coffee date had been reconnaissance. Every encouraging text was manipulation. She'd positioned herself as my biggest cheerleader while systematically destroying my reputation behind the scenes. "Adam," I said suddenly, "that's what sent you over the edge tonight. He actually wants to hire me." Lauren's silence was answer enough. I stood up, still wearing my gothic masterpiece that had started this whole revelation. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to email every single client on that spreadsheet and tell them you lied about me. You're going to send my actual portfolio to every company you sabotaged. And you're going to explain to your boss at Morrison exactly how you've been stealing designs from your sister. Haley, please. Or I do it for you, with screenshots, your choice." 6 months later, my design business was thriving. Turns out, when potential clients aren't being warned that you're unprofessional and unreliable, they actually hire you. Who knew? Lauren lost her job. Adam broke up with her the day after I showed him the evidence. She moved back in with our parents, who finally understood why their successful daughter's creativity had dried up so suddenly. Sometimes family isn't about blood. It's about who actually wants you to succeed.